where do you start? Where do you start? You know, Bernie had a big rally yesterday. Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib endorsed him in Detroit. That is very critical because one of the areas Hillary Clinton underperformed in was Detroit when she lost Michigan to an orange orangutan. Obviously, Bernie Sanders won Michigan last year in 2016 in the primary. So that Rashida Tlaib endorsement is going to be very helpful. I'll get into that a little bit later. I need to start with Joe Biden. I mean, when are we just going to declare iceberg right ahead and get the hell off this boat? When is the media going to say enough's enough? The man can't construct a full sentence. The man's bleeding in his eyes during debates. The man is now waving the white flag saying, I need you, my big super PAC daddies, I need you. I can't do anything, he tells the media. I can't stop them from donating. So Joe Biden was approached yesterday by a climate activist. And, you know, if you don't know, Joe Biden in the past has told millennials, give me a break. Give me a break, he said to millennials about your generation, the millennial generation having it tougher. He said, give me a break about your student loan debts and the climate crisis. I'm not making this up. What does Biden say all the time? Not joking. Not a joke. Not making this up. So let's just hear what Joe Biden had to say. I just can't believe this. I'm terrified for our future since you're first and now taking super PAC money. Since you're now taking super PAC money, how can we trust that you're not fighting for the people profiting off climate change?
Look at my record, child. Look at my record.
Is you fighting to go into the Iraq war and you
no, that's not right. Ooh,
child. Well, I don't know what's worse. The fact that Joe Biden is taking a selfie with someone, calling him out, and not realizing this person is calling him out. He's like, let me take a selfie as this person's calling me out. Or this very, very condescending, dismissive, and frankly, I don't know. Joseph, do you think I'm misreading this? It came off to me slightly threatening.
He's slightly threatened about what is happening, and it's like he doesn't get it.
No. But when somebody
calls a child,
no. But when that was a woman.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's close to his personal space. Fine.
Yep.
But you're in front of a woman saying "child."
Yeah.
I find that condescending and a little bit disrespectful and a little bit threatening. Not threatening like he's going to hit her, but just like, that's kind of not something you say like within 1 inch of someone. When he says, look at my record, child, on climate change. Well, you were a senator for like 25, 30 years. I don't know of any big thing you did to turn around the climate crisis. I know Bernie Sanders has been speaking about this since the 1980s, calling it global warming in the 1980s before the term climate change and climate crisis really came about. I've never heard Joe Biden do a damn thing about climate change. In the 1980s, instead of railing against climate change, he was railing against black people needing to be put in jail more with his crime bail. When Joe Biden was a senator, he was basically bought off by banks, credit card companies who are heavily invested, by the way, in all of these pipelines and fossil fuel projects, which we're going to get to in a little bit. What record is Joe Biden talking about that needs to be looked at? One of his top advisors is on the board or something like that with the natural gas company. It's one of his top advisors now. He is going around the country, New York, D.C., Martha's Vineyard, Silicon Valley, San Francisco, and meeting and having caviar and having champagne with every last banker, hedge fund manager in America who are heavily invested in fossil fuel companies. After he was called out, I believe in a town hall, because I think he was doing a CNN, he was doing the CNN town hall on climate change. The next day was a fundraiser he was having with a fossil fuel executive. CNN, somehow, this question got in the audience. I'm surprised CNN didn't stop it. saying, how could you be talking to us about climate change when you're literally having a fundraiser tomorrow with a fossil fuel executive? He said, well, my campaign tells me that he, to the letter of the law, is not technically an executive. He's more of a top person, and he's not an executive, so therefore I could have a fundraiser with him. I went ahead and did it anyway. Even CNN is calling out Joe Biden. This is John King calling out Joe Biden for his fakakta absurdity. This is like Joe Biden, saying like, well, I can't stop these wealthy billionaires from creating a super PAC for me. I can't stop them. This is like me saying like, well, I couldn't help but, I stumbled into the strip club and I can't stop these women from doing a lap dance on me. I know Jen's going to be mad at me for this crude comment, but I just can't stop them from doing this.
Yeah.
I didn't, I'm not choosing to go into the establishment.
No.
But I just can't stop them.
You can't. It's kind of getting no way getting around it.
So Joe Biden, he can't do anything. Even CNN is calling out Joe. Let's take a look.
And you need money. There have been a lot of questions of late about Joe Biden's fundraising. He says, not to worry.
I know I'm the front runner. Find me a national poll with a couple exceptions. But look, this is a marathon.
Yes.
This is a marathon. I'm not worried about being able to fund this campaign. I really am not, truly. I don't have a super PAC. I don't want any part of that. I didn't change my opinion. I didn't look. They're able to go out and do this, period. I cannot stop them if I wanted to stop them. It's their right to do it.
Last part's not true. It's just not true. And Joe Biden knows that. And so he said repeatedly at the beginning of the campaign he didn't want a super PAC. He wouldn't have a super PAC. That's not where the party is anymore. The guy who's building one up for him right now has been with Joe Biden going back to the 1980s. If Joe Biden said, Larry, don't do it, Larry would not do it. So why that? Why not just give an honest answer? I'm not raising as much money as I need, so we're going to go this route.
I mean, when John King of CNN is calling you out and admonishing you, you got problems. When the ultimate in the tank CNN for the Democratic establishment is calling you basically full of it, you got problems, Joe. You got problems. And here's what I think. I think Joe Biden, he's the most recent vice president, been in office, senator, vice president, many, many years. If he's having this much trouble with grassroots donations, that he's basically just waving the white flag and be like, well, I can't stop them, wink, wink, give me your money, super PACs. How is he going to go toe-to-toe with Trump, who, by the way, in fairness to Trump, yes, Trump is bought off, completely bought off. I mean, he's got money from the banks and a lot of special interests. He also has a huge small dollar donations engine from his fervent base. So Trump has the special interest money from the banks, oil companies, big pharma, real estate, Silicon Valley, you name it. Trump's getting those, and he's getting the small grassroots dollars from MAGA Nation. So I'm somebody who says, I don't really think it matters that much because Hillary Clinton outspent Donald Trump 2-1. How's President Hillary Clinton doing? So money's not everything. Obviously, you need to be able to compete, which Bernie Sanders and, to a lesser degree, Elizabeth Warren is showing you can compete through small dollar donations, especially when you are the nominee. If you're Bernie, if you're Warren, because then there's no competition for donations on the Democratic side and all the small dollar engine will come to you. I think Warren would have less small dollar donations than Bernie would. I think if Bernie's the nominee, you're going to have a record number of young people voting, which is good. So forget whether you like Joe Biden or not. Forget whether you're a progressive or you're a conservative. If you want to defeat Donald Trump, how are you going to defeat Donald Trump with somebody, besides the fact that he can't really construct full sentences anymore without stuttering and mumbling? I don't say that to be a jerk. I say that because it's true, and it's not going to look good on a debate stage against President Trump. But obviously, this indicates a lack of enthusiasm. The Democratic Party establishment completely ignored the lack of enthusiasm that was blinking in red lights for Hillary Clinton. I know someone in my life right now, love him to death, But he said, oh, Hillary lost because the Russians helped swing it. I've said to this person over and over again, she lost because of the lawn signs. I was there. There was a lot of lawn signs for Donald Trump in the Midwest. There was a lot of energy for Donald Trump in the Midwest. He had massive rallies in the Midwest where Hillary Clinton was going to colleges in the Midwest and getting old people to show up rather than the students. Energy, enthusiasm, things like lawn signs might sound like nothing to you. It matters. It's a sign of enthusiasm. Although there is a sizable portion of Bernie Sanders' 2016 voter base that has switched to Warren, I do think some of them might come back. I think Bernie Sanders, where he rises in the polls, I think where he picks up momentum is actually from Joe Biden. I've told you over and over again, the more Biden, and this shows you how uninformed and misinformed people are from our corporate media, a lot of Biden support is Bernie's base. People making $50,000 or less. People with only high school degrees, i.e. the working class. So I got news for you. Joe Biden, if you want to defeat Donald Trump, if you're a vote blue no matter who kind of person, I know a lot of you aren't, Joe Biden is the worst. Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.